Welcome to the library and rare books reading room of the Jewish Theological Seminary. The JTS Library houses the greatest collection of rare Judaica in the Western Hemisphere, providing the Jewish community and the world with direct access to an astonishing array of materials that speak to Jewish history and to our shared Jewish experience. Hi, welcome to the library of the Jewish Theological Seminary. I am David Kraemer, director of the library, and we are here in the Dorothy Tapper Goldman Gallery, which provides us the opportunity to do these amazing exhibits. The exhibit that I'd like to bring your attention to is Living Yiddish in New York, an exhibit made possible by the Feingold Helegua Yiddish Collection Fund. This is a spectacular exhibit that helps us to portray the Jewish community, the immigrants who came in the late 19th into the early decades of the 20th century. In vast numbers, 2 million in total, a large proportion of which settled here in New York City, where they began to make a new home. They aspired and sometimes struggled to become Americans, to be modern in the fullest sense of the word. And there are many things we could show you. This comes from our absolutely outstanding archival collections relating to the experience of Jews speaking Yiddish during that period. And there is one part of this exhibit in particular that I would like to show you. We have got postcards blown up for purposes of viewing that represent the story of these immigrants in a before and after sort of way. Each one of these postcards provides us with a narrative, a very interesting narrative, in fact, but it also shows the complication of the narrative that needs to be conveyed. And so we've got here on the left a pair of postcards. These postcards, by the way, are from the earliest part of the 20th century, before the Great War, the First World War. Two of the ones that I'm about to show you appeared in a left-wing satirical publication called Der Greisekundis, and they show, in a critical but very perceptive way, the experience of these immigrants. So look at what we've got here together on the left. On the top, we've got a postcard that represents, as they all do, the old world and the new world. On the right, in Vilna is gewesen a Rav. In the old country in Vilna, he was a Rav, a rabbi, and you can see him seated over a book, properly dressed, studying deeply the books of our tradition. On the left, in New York, as the card goes on, is a peddler. In New York, he's got to struggle to make a living. And so he became a peddler, no longer with the honor and special position of a Rav. But immediately below this, we've got another postcard that tells a similar, though exactly opposite story. And so in their Heim, in the home, meaning the home from which we came, the old world, is gewesen a Schuster. He was a shoemaker, right? And you can see in the image all around him the poverty on the top right. You can see the spider web, the boots that are hung that he's working on. If you look a little bit to the left, you can see that the window is broken. This is a life of some poverty. But when we come to the left, in New York, when he's come to the New World, to New York, Paskint Shailus. Right? In New York, he actually answers rabbinic questions about Jewish law. And so you can see he's being approached by a woman who is holding a chicken in front of her. He's got the books open on the table, and he's turned aside, and he's clearly being asked, is this a kosher chicken or not? When they came to the New World, there was a lot of ignorance. Many of these immigrants were not scholars. Many of the scholars, in fact, remained behind in the old world because they had a fear that the New World was a world without the tradition. And so a little bit of knowledge brought you a long way. From Rav to peddler, from peddler to Rav. Both of them are true stories, and their tension tells us something very important about the experience of immigrant Jews.